Good evening everyone. Welcome to Yoga Candy and welcome to our first ever YouTube live video. I'm quite excited to be sharing this with you, and I'm definitely going to be bringing you a live class every week, so please do subscribe and click that little bell in the corner because that will notify you to let you know whenever the next class is going to be. I'll always make sure that I create an event before the class so that you know what time and what day, and also so that you know what we're going to focus on for that next class. So most of the classes are going to be focusing on yoga for beginners, but there will be some intermediate modifications as well. And I'd say that today's class is definitely going to be for more strong beginners. So it's people who've done yoga a few times, maybe you've tried out yoga before, this is going to be a good one for that. Before I carry on and continue talking, can you guys give me a thumbs up or just write me a little comment just to make sure that you can hear me? Because by the time I get over onto my mat over there, I'm not going to be able to see your notifications or your comments. So just let me know that you can hear me. And in the meantime, because this is also a beginner's class, strong beginner, I'd really recommend you guys have some yoga blocks. Hi Jess, welcome. I'm so glad you could be here, babe. We're going to do some crow practice today, which is a really fun arm balance. And you can hear me. Yay, woohoo, great, good. Yes, so some crow practice today. So that's why I recommend yoga blocks. Now you can use books, but the yoga blocks are much better, especially these foam ones, because they're a little bit softer and you can actually sit on them. You can do so much more with them. So if this is something you don't have, then head on over to yogacandy.com. On there I've got a prop section, which is props that I recommend. They're things that I've tried and tested, so you can be reassured that they're actually things I like, not just things I'm making up. And the blocks that I've got on there is actually this exact one. You can get it in quite a few different colours. The other thing for you beginners out there is to have a belt or a strap, a yoga strap like this. Or you can also have a rolled up hand towel, also do the same trick. We've also got 360 honeymoon on board. Great, hello. So that's all you're going to need today, so make sure you're wearing something really nice and comfortable, some stretchy yoga pants or maybe some loose pants, something that isn't going to get in the way of your practice today. Some yoga blocks or books if you don't have the blocks just yet, a mat. If you don't have a mat, that's fine, just do yoga on a non-slippery surface, so make sure it's on maybe on a carpet or something like that. But do invest in a mat, especially if yoga is something you're considering continuing with, because it does obviously help with slip, especially in downward facing dog, and as you progress within your practice, it's just going to be so much easier for you. So guys, I don't want to talk your ears off too much. As I say, remember to subscribe, click the bell, and you won't miss any of these classes. We're definitely going to do them every week. So I'm going to head on over to my mat now, and I hope that you guys can hear me. Don't worry, I'm going to speak up. So make sure your props are out of the way, guys. And we're going to come to the front of our mat. We're going to go straight into this flow today because we've only got half an hour, so we want to fit in as much as we can, right? So come to the front of your mat, stand up nice and straight. Tuck your tailbone in slightly, suck in the belly, hands by the side. And we're going to close our eyes here. Roll your shoulders back and down. Don't hunch too much with the shoulders, make sure they're back. Close your eyes and let's take a couple of deep breaths here. For those of you that understand Ujjayi breath, then start to engage your Ujjayi breath. If you don't understand what that is, then just start to deepen the breath through your nostrils, sending it all the way down into your belly. And then exhale. Try to make your exhale a little longer than your inhale. And make sure that you breathe in and out of your nostrils and not out of the mouth. But if you get to a point in the practice tonight where you just have to sigh out of your mouth, you have to breathe through your mouth, don't beat yourself up about it. Just do so. Breathe. If there's a time where you've got to do it, just do it. Listen to the body. That's what yoga is all about. I'm going to keep cueing you and reminding you to suck in the core. That's going to be really important in today's flow. In fact, it's important in every yoga class that you ever attend. But don't worry, it takes practice to remember and to keep doing it automatically. So don't worry if you forget. Inhale your hands up to the sky, touch your palms. Exhale, fold forward at the hips. If you need to bend your legs, then feel free to do so. If you can straighten them, straighten them. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Plant your palms and step back into your plank. Make your plank nice and strong. If you're a total beginner, feel free to drop your knees. Engage your legs, sucking your thighs together, lifting up through the knees, sucking in the belly, pushing your shoulder blades up towards the sky. So don't sink into your shoulders. Take one more breath here. Now drop your knees and come down towards the ground as slowly as you can, keeping your elbows close to your body. Don't worry if you fall. And now inhale into baby cobra. Lifting up. Engage the glutes, engage your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And if you want to, take your back bend up a little further into full cobra. But be where you are today, listen to your body. Exhale down to the ground, untuck your toes, and let's send our hips up and back into our first downward facing dog. In down dog, your feet should be hip distance apart, your hands a little further than your shoulder width, or about shoulder width apart. Imagine that you're trying to get your knees to look at each other, so just slightly rotating your thighs inwards. Try to push your shoulder blades apart, getting your armpits to look at each other. Send your tailbone up towards the sky. And don't worry if your heels don't touch the ground. If you're here, this is fine. Just be there. With time, your heels will probably touch the ground, but not everybody's body is designed that way. So don't worry if they never do. If at any point tonight you want to take a child's pose, feel free to do so by dropping your knees and lying back onto your bum. And just allow your head to rest. But if you can keep up, then just do what you can. Take one more deep breath. And now let's take our right leg between our palms. Bounce out through the hips just for a second, and then step forward into your forward fold. Allow everything to hang heavy, grab your elbows. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. And let's take our hands above the head, touch your palms, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back with the right foot this time, and then join it with your left foot until you come into your plank. Feel free to drop your knees at any point. Take one more deep breath here. Now you can lower your knees to the ground like we did before, or stay up in your plank and slowly come down towards the ground, keeping your shoulder, your arms, your elbows close to the body. Come down to the floor. Inhale into your back bend. Full cobra or baby cobra. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, send your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Sucking in the belly, pushing your shoulder blades apart. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And let's step our left foot between our palms this time. Don't worry if it takes you a little bit of wriggling to get there. Place your hands either side and just bounce through the hips one more time. And now let's step forward, come into your forward fold. Drop everything nice and heavy. Suck in your belly. Inhale, halfway lift, look up, and then bring your palms up to touch above the head. Draw them to your heart center. We're going to do that one more time, guys. This is Surya Namaskar A. This is Sun Salutation A. We're going to do it one more time. Inhale, hands up to touch each other. Exhale, fold forward at the hips. Bend your legs if you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, this time you can step back or you can jump back into chaturanga. I'm going to jump back just so you know what we're doing. Land in your chaturanga and inhale. Come up into the back bend of your choice. That could be a baby cobra or a full cobra or your upward facing dog like I'm doing. Be where you are. Now inhale, send your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. If you need to sigh from your mouth, feel free to do so. If you need to take a child's pose, take a child's pose. Eventually, downward facing dog will be your resting pose. I remember when I first began yoga, I thought people were crazy when they told me this was a resting pose. But it's true, it does eventually feel like a resting pose, so it'll take time and practice and you'll get there. Take one more deep breath. Now let's step forward with the right leg between your palms. Keep your back heel off of the ground. Inhale your hands up towards the sky. Touch your palms above your head for high lunge. Try to keep the front leg at a 90-degree angle to the ground. Take one deep breath here. And now open through the back leg, open up through the hip. Place that heel on the floor at a 90-degree angle to the back of the mat. Your front leg should be at a 90-degree angle as well. This is Warrior 2. Look at your front fingertips. Take one deep breath. Now inhale, lean forward. As you exhale, bring your arm behind you. And we're going to come into reverse warrior. Look up. And now exhale, straighten through the front leg. Frame that foot. And we're going to step back into plank. Take one more deep breath here, guys. You've got this. Drop your knees if you need to. Now drop your knees, everybody, and we're going to come down to the ground as slowly as you can. Inhale for baby cobra. Lift your hands off the ground this time so that you're using your back muscles to hold you up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And let's send our hips back and take a little child's pose here. Let's take 2 breaths here, 2 really deep breaths in and out of the nose. Now take your hands forward. Send your hips up into your downward facing dog. Walk your feet out if you need to. Sigh out of your mouth if you need to. Remember to listen to the body. Now let's step forward with our left foot. Take that between your palms and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So come up onto your fingertips. Keep that back heel off of the ground. And lift yourself up using the strength of your legs. Front leg 90-degree angle to the mat. Inhale your hands up to the sky. If at any point you need to come out of this, then feel free to do so. Take one more deep breath. Now open up to the side. Open through the foot. Place that heel onto the ground. Front leg at a 90-degree angle to the ground. Open your arms up. Warrior two. Look at your front fingertips, sucking in the belly. Take one deep breath. Inhale, send your arm forward. As you exhale, send it behind you. Now straighten through the front leg. And we're going to frame that foot and come down into our plank once again. So send that left foot back. Be nice and strong in your plank, guys. Drop your knees at any point. Now exhale, let's do our chaturanga. Drop your knees if you need to. Come all the way down to the ground as slowly as possible. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, down to the ground. And send your hips back. And let's take another couple of breaths in our child's pose. Now, come up. We're going to do a little bit of core because today's all about the thighs and the core. Let's come to the middle of our mat, take a seat. And we're going to do a little bit of boat poke. I can't talk. We're going to do boat pose, a bit of practice of that. So, send your back behind you. Come up into a balance point, hold behind your knees if you need to. And just stay here, this is fine. If you're a complete beginner, this may be enough, and just stay there. You can practice taking one arm off of your leg and then the other. But if you're ready, take both your hands off your knees. Lean back and suck in the core. If you want to take this even further, you can straighten through the legs. Lean back slightly more. And hold wherever you are, hold it for 3 breaths. And bend through the knees if you've got them straight. And come down to the ground, squeeze your knees in towards the body. You've got this. We're going to do this a few more times. Boat pose is great for the core, for the back, for your thighs as well, because you've got to hold your thighs in that position. So it's good. It's a good all-rounder, really. Okay, come back. Hold behind your knees and just stay here if you need to. Don't forget. Play with taking one hand off and then the other. Or take both of them off and stay here. Take 3 deep breaths. Or straighten through the legs. 1, 2, 1 more, 3. Grab behind the legs, come back down. Give your knees a little squeeze. And we're going to do it again. And don't feel that you have to do what I'm doing, just be where you are. Listen to your body. Okay, start to lean back. Inhale your legs up, hold behind the knees, and stay here if you need to. Or go all the way and straighten the legs, straighten the arms, suck in the belly, keep the back nice and straight as well. One more breath, and hug the knees in. Good job, guys, good job. Right, let's take a little child's pose, because for some of you that might have been pretty intense. Come down, allow your breath just to neutralize before we go into our next strengthening pose. And we're going to play around with some crow pose in a minute, which hopefully should be quite fun for some of you. It's actually quite an intermediate pose, so I don't want any of you to feel like you have to be able to do it. It took me a while to be able to lift both my legs up and to be able to get into the balance. So listen to your body and be patient with yourself. Take another deep breath here. And then come up. So crow pose is really good for arm strength. It's also really good for your core. And with time, the more you practice it, you're going to notice that you actually use your core even more than you use your arms, because that's what's going to help you to elevate the hips, and it's going to actually create less pressure on the back of the arms. So this is where your book or your block is going to come in handy. So grab your prop, place it on the mat, and we're going to come up onto our prop with both of our feet. Place your hands in front of you. Come up onto the prop. Now this is a really good way to practice this pose. And you can do it in your own time, as many times as you want to, until eventually maybe you lift both your legs off the ground. And that's quite an exciting moment. I remember my first time. I was like, yes, I've got it. It does feel pretty good. So, place your hands in front of you on the mat, shoulder width apart. Lift your bum up into the air. Bring your hands closer to the mat. Now this might be quite scary for some of you. You might think, oh, I don't feel stable. Then that's fine. Stay here and just suck in the core and feel it out. If you can, start to send your weight a little bit forward, bending through your elbows slightly. Maybe you lift one foot off of the ground and just hold this. Stay there. You're not really actually balancing at this point. You're just experimenting with your arm strength at this point. And then come back, maybe take a little rest. And then we're going to go over to the other side. So place your hands in front of you. I think I'm going to need both of my blocks. You guys might need the same actually. So grab both of your blocks or your books. Try to make sure your books are about the same height. Just because I actually prefer to have my feet a little further apart, I think this is going to be easier. Right, so come up onto your block or your books. Hands on the ground, nice and flat. Fingers facing towards the front of the mat. Bend through the elbows ever so slightly. Lift up through the hips. Stay here if this is enough. Come out of it whenever you need to. Now let's lift up the other leg and just feeling through this. Look slightly ahead, don't look behind. And now let's drop that down. Now you can stay on your blocks and just keep feeling through, keep doing this. Or you can remove your props. And let's try it without the props. So put them aside. Okay, so hands shoulder distance apart. Come up onto your feet. Send your hips up into the sky. Stay here if this is enough and just feel through that. Feel through what it's like to lean forward in an inversion. Suck in the belly, maybe lift one leg off the ground again. And stay there. Maybe you lift the other leg next. Feel that out. Straighten through the legs whenever you need to. Take a rest whenever you need to. In fact, let's all take a little rest. So sit down, put your feet together and allow your legs to fall apart. And we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to try and lift both the feet. So for those of you that are feeling brave enough today or strong enough, then let's see if you can do it. If you do manage to do it at the end of our class, just give me a thumbs up or write me a little comment and say, woohoo, I did it, I lifted both my feet. Even if it's only for a second, it's still a really nice feeling when you manage to do a pose. Okay, let's do this again. Hands shoulder distance apart. Come up. Place your knees behind your, as close to your armpits as possible. So knees as close to your armpits as possible. Start to lean forward if you can. Maybe lift one foot up. Suck in the belly. Maybe you lift the other foot up. Suck in the belly. And see if you can hold this. Suck everything in. And when you're ready, come back down. I hope you guys are doing okay with this. Remember, you just only have to lift one foot at a time. There's no need to lift them both. Take a little breather. Especially in the beginning, this is quite a hard pose. It feels like your knees are really digging into your arms. But with time, you'll notice that they don't dig in too much because you're using your core a lot more. So give it time and practice and you'll get there. Okay, let's do it again. Hands shoulder distance apart, feet close together, knees apart, as close to your armpits as possible. Lean forward, just stay here if you want to, or perhaps lift both your feet off the ground. Hold the pose. Suck in the belly. And come out of it. You may even need to give your wrists a little rest. So come into a seat, shake out your hands. Again, that's something that is going to build strength over time. The more you do yoga, your wrists will start to get stronger and stronger. So, take a nice seat here for a second. Close your eyes. Come back into the body. Would anybody like to give that another go? If you do, maybe just write in the comments and say, hell yeah, I want to give it another go. If I don't get any comments saying, yes, I want to try it again, then we'll move on. We'll go on to the next thing. So let me know. If you're enjoying your rest too much, then that's absolutely fine. I'm going to have to come forward to see what you've written, so carry on resting. Anybody want to give it another go? Is this maybe you guys are happy where you are? Yeah? Okay, let's move on. Right, so we've tried out crow pose. Let's start to stretch everything out, guys. Come into a comfortable seat, sit on your bum, or sit on a cushion or a pillow or something. Feel free to grab yourself a cushion at this point. Place the inner soles of your feet together. Grab onto your feet, sit up nice and tall. Bring your feet as close to your crutch as possible. If your legs are up here and you think, why are they not down there like yours? Then that's absolutely fine. It just means you have very tight hips, tight hip flexors. And that's fine. Sit up here and you're still going to feel a stretch in your hip flexors. This is more than enough. Maybe even take yourself against a wall. Sit up nice and tall against a wall. But if you have the flexibility, start to lean forward. We're going to stretch through our hips now. Maybe even rock back and forth a little bit. Start to lean into it. You can take your hands down to the ground or your forearms. Be wherever you are. Let's stretch it all out, guys. Now you should be feeling a pretty deep stretch at this point, wherever you are. In your inner groin and maybe a little bit in your psoas as well at this point. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Maybe you want to go all the way to the ground, then do that. Take one more deep breath, in through the nose, out through the nose, and send your breath all the way down into your hips. Now start to walk yourself up if you're down on the ground. Squeeze your legs together. Bring them towards the body. Give them a little tight squeeze. And now let's take our legs out in front of us. Take your right leg out in front of you. Your left leg, take it to the sole of the foot, to the inner thigh of the right leg. Sit up as tall as you can if this is enough. And even this is quite a stretch. Stay there. Or maybe grab onto your shin if that's enough. Or go a little lower and grab onto your foot. And instead of using your arms to pull you in, use the strength of your core by sucking in your belly. And try to use your core to pull you closer towards your foot rather than your arms. Keep your shoulders relaxed and down in place rather than letting them come forward. And let's stretch through the right hamstring. Take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, hold on to wherever you are, look up. Send your tailbone up towards the sky. And exhale, let's come back up into a seat and swap sides, stretching your left leg out in front of you. Take your right foot to the inner left thigh. Sit up nice and tall. Be where you are. Even if it's just seated, that's fine. Start to walk forward. If you can grab onto your feet, do so. And use the strength of your belly to pull you towards your thigh. Keep your knee engaged. Keep your knee coming up towards your thigh so you're engaging it. Engage your foot up towards the sky as well. Come down. One side may feel tighter than the other. I notice that my left side is always a little tighter than my right. Start to send your tailbone up towards the sky at the same time, sucking in the belly. Keep your shoulders relaxed. If your shoulders start to tense up, then you've gone too far and just come out of it a little bit. Take 3 deep breaths here, guys. Inhale, hold onto your foot, look up, or onto your oh dear, onto your shin or wherever you are. Be where you are. Send your tailbone up towards the sky. Look up. And come up. Send your seat into the middle of your mat now. And we're going to roll back as slowly as you can onto your back. Vertebrae by vertebrae. now let's bend through the left leg so that it's placed on the ground. Lift your right leg into the air. Start to inwards rotate it. Create a figure 4 on top of the left leg. So we're going to stretch through the IT band now and open up through the hips. Start to lift your left leg off of the ground. If you can grab behind your knee, then do that and pull the feet a little closer towards your stomach. If this is too much, if you can't grab behind your leg, grab, this is where your strap is going to come in handy, or your rolled up towel, whatever you have handy there. Place that behind the knee and use that to get you into the pose and to get you a little deeper. Make sure that your top foot, the one that's overlapping the left leg, make sure that it's engaged and looking up towards the sky. This is going to protect your knee. And squeeze your hips towards the body. You can use the right arm to push the right leg a little further away from the body. Take 2 deep breaths here. Keep your tailbone flat against the ground. Don't lift up your hips. Give it one last little squeeze in towards the body. And let's release and swap over. Bend the right leg, place it on the ground. Create your figure 4 with your left leg, opening the knee out to the side. Start to lift the right leg off the floor, grab behind the knee or use your strap. Now push your legs towards the body. You should feel quite an intense stretch in your bum. It's quite a nice feeling. But if you're particularly tight, it may be quite uncomfortable, so make sure that you're listening to your body. If it feels too intense, then release it a little bit and don't go so deep. Keep your shoulder blades tucked under the body. Keep your back flat onto the ground. Squeeze your legs a little closer towards the body, if you can. Engage the feet. Breathe here. Take 2 more deep breaths. Squeeze your legs towards the body for your very last little bit of intense stretch. And then let's release. Kick your legs up and down a little bit. And now we're going to send them out in front of us, coming into our final resting pose. Your feet should be a little wider than hip distance apart. Allow your feet to fall out to the sides. Your hands should be a few inches away from the body with your palms looking up to the sky. Your face should be facing up towards the sky. Tuck your shoulder blades under the body. And let's relax every bit of the body here. Just breathe naturally now. If any thoughts come into your mind over the next couple of minutes, allow those thoughts to pass and don't pay them any attention. This is the time to allow your practice to sink in. This is the time to relax and to listen to the body. I'm going to talk you through relaxing each part of the body before we end the practice. So keeping your eyes closed, breathe naturally. Relax your toes. Relax your arches of your feet. Relax your heels. Relax your ankles. Relax your calves. Relax your knees. Relax your thighs. Relax your hips. Relax your stomach. Relax your chest. Relax your collarbones. Relax your shoulders. Relax your upper arm. Relax your elbows. Relax your forearms. Relax your wrists. Relax your palms. Relax all of your fingers. Relax your thumbs. Relax your whole arm. Relax your shoulders. Relax your neck. Relax your jaw. Relax your lower lip. Relax your upper lip. Relax your nostrils. Relax your cheeks. Relax your ears. Relax your eyelids. Relax your eyebrows. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Relax your forehead. Relax your scalp. Relax. Enjoy 10 more breaths here. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Move your hands and your feet. Take a deep breath in and reach your hands up over your head. Stretch out the body as if you're just waking up first thing in the morning. Roll over onto your side. Take a couple of breaths here. Come up into a seat, keep your eyes nice and closed. Take a comfortable seat of your choice, sit up nice and straight. Inhale your hands up to the sky. Look up, reach your palms together. Draw them into your heart center with your eyes closed. Bow your head. Bow your head to your palms. Thank yourself for showing up on the mat tonight. You can blink your eyes open. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I really hope you've enjoyed tonight's flow. We'll definitely be doing another one next week and the week after and the week after. We're just going to continue them together. It's just amazing that we can do this live together. I'd love to hear your comments about the class tonight, so leave me a comment on the video and let me know how you got on. Let me know how you found crow pose as well. How did you get on? Did you manage to lift both your feet? Let me know. I hope you're all going to have a lovely evening, whatever you get up to, enjoy. And remember to subscribe, click the bell so that you don't miss any of the classes. And head on over to yogacandy.com where you'll find a little more information about me, about what I do, about why I do yoga. And on there I've just set up a blog, so I'm going to be bringing new posts to you all the time, every week. Every week I'm going to give you at least a new blog post. So sign up to the newsletter as well if you would like to, and with that every week I'll email you new information about new videos, tips on yoga, anything about mindfulness and about presence, about anxiety, stress, just anything related to general health of the mind, body and soul. So until next time everyone, I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.